We saw some of the worst data we'd seen in a long while. And I think that's one of the reasons that you saw these big stimulus announcements in September. And they did do something. I mean, they did spur a little bit of increased activity and a little bit increased confidence. If you look at what happened in October, our data were much better. In November, the data were also much better than September. So you've seen a pickup in the economy. Some of that may be manufacturing exports being expedited ahead of Trump tariffs, but you're seeing an economy that's better than it was. It's not great, it's not strong, but it's also not catastrophically weak. So that's the position we're in going into 2025. It's sort of ironic seeing all these headlines about giant stimulus happening and will they flood the economy? The economy doesn't need it right now. If it needs it in 2025, it's because something's happening in the tariff world.
Okay, so this is such a great point because that's what I was going to say. So that signaling for more government stimulus and rate cuts, you think that is not at all true, and that it has to come from a tariff issue that will then provide stress?
Hey, look, I mean, this is the important point to take away from the second half of 2024. Even in September, when the economy is much worse than it is right now, it's bad. It can be weak. It doesn't mean it's catastrophically weak, and it doesn't mean that it needs big stimulus in order, for things not to fall apart. So what the government wants to do is just enough to be able to keep the economy stable. It's not reaching for a higher ceiling. It's not trying to juice things. What it wants to do is get the economy stable so they can worry about other priorities, mostly national security priorities, building up a domestic chip ecosystem, working on supply chain resiliency, working on vulnerability to U.S. sanctions, these types of things. Certainly a lot of things with advanced technology. What it doesn't want to do is juice high levels of growth. So it's trying to figure out what the minimum amount needed in order to keep going, and to not have to worry about the economy. It's not a priority, but it also doesn't want it to be its downfall.
To what extent are they concerned? Are the Chinese government and officials concerned about tariffs that President-elect Trump is talking about?
I think they are concerned. I think they should be concerned because tariffs are coming in 2025. We'll see as the administration fills itself out and as the policy gets more sequenced out. What exactly we see on what timing. But I think they understand that there is a very high level chance that they're going to see increased pressure on their major growth driver right now, which is exports. In 2024, it's the timing of this is remarkable because 2024. China spent the entire year, including through Xi, including at the plenum, saying we are going to double down on our manufacturing and export model. We're going to talk about new quality productive forces. And even though we have the highest trade surplus ever and we have a record manufacturing goods surplus, we are going to still double down on exports in a whole government effort to just keep pushing them out to the world. This is causing friction everywhere. But with Trump coming in too, who's particularly sensitive to these issues, you're going to see a problem. So I think that they should be very worried about the tariffs that are on the way.